Welcome back into America's Weather Center. I'm Haley Meyer. We've got Stephen Morgan here with us right now, hanging out.
Yep.
Somewhat quiet in the weather department. The storm's building.
They are.
Right now.
The anticipation that winter pattern is going to return in a big way tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you look at the temperatures come next week.
Yeah. I know.
In an even bigger way, we'll be feeling that winter. So, the return of old man winter is certainly here. But one spot, they have been dealing with record-breaking amounts of snow. That was over in Juneau, Alaska. The Panhandle right now dealing with heavy rain and warming temperatures, which is setting up a dangerous situation. Juneau's already seen avalanches occur as residents evacuate, and the risk continues to remain elevated. We have Juneau emergency storm response teams continuing to shovel out hydrants, storm drains, and other infrastructure. The city's been working hard to remove these massive amounts of snow. Truly, the video is incredible, watching people dig themselves off of their driveways and off the top of their roofs. Here to discuss Juneau's response plan and how the city's been faring is Juneau's city manager, Koester. Katie, thanks so much for joining us right now. After an intense week of weather, in your opinion, how are Juneau residents holding up right now? And what have you been hearing from people across the community in terms of the safety, maybe the stress of just daily tasks, and of the challenges that heavy snow and then the flash flood potential with snow melt presents?
And thank you. I think people are really relieved to be able to start going back to regular business. City facilities and schools were closed for over a week due to not only the impassable roads, but also the danger of roof collapse on all of our public facilities. So people are sore because they've been shoveling their own driveways. People are anxious because that tremendous snow load on their roofs. And right now we're seeing really an amazing amount of rain, which is melting a lot of that snow, but as you mentioned, is presenting its own hazards with flooding.
And I think in a lot of ways for Alaska, they are somewhat unique hazards to the rest of the lower 48. We've been seeing video of ships that have cracked and sunk in some of the waterways due to the heavy weight of the snow, avalanche danger with a lot of your infrastructure parked right up against the base of the mountain. Can you speak to some of the unique challenges that Juneau has to go through and some of the things that you've seen throughout this week?
Absolutely. It really is. We're really isolated. We are only accessible, the state capital is only accessible by air or boat. So that means we can't call on other communities to come and help. And we really have to help each other. And what you've seen is a lot of neighbors helping neighbors, a lot of people opening up their homes to people who are evacuated due to that avalanche danger. And we are still under an active avalanche evacuation notice for Juneau. So I think one thing that we have in Alaska is resilience, because we know that we have to help out each other. And that's been a positive part of this experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like in the face of adverse weather, people always come together to support their communities, lift each other up. And I'm sure in Juneau's case, because of the isolation that you have, being disconnected from the majority of the United States, that feeling is much stronger there. What is it like with the wind gusts now as well? We still are dealing with high wind warnings with wind gusts close to 65 miles per hour. What other underlying concerns are you guys focused on right now in response to that particular weather threat?
Yeah, we're really concerned about the wind increasing avalanche risk because the combination of the rain making that snow that's perched above our neighborhoods even heavier, and then the wind causing that to release is our greatest concern right now as we move into our next operational period. So we're really going to be monitoring. We have devices to monitor that avalanche zone. The best thing that can happen is lots of small avalanches to relieve that pressure. But of course, we are prepared for the worst.
Yeah, we've been showing this video of an avalanche coming down the side of a mountain, and folks in the area were calling it a small slide and a small avalanche. And so I think the perspective of that is a big shift for folks in the United States if you're not living in Alaska. One other threat, too, is the flooding concern. There's a flood advisory in effect for Jordan Creek, and that area runs directly through Juneau. So what are some of your biggest concerns with the rivers potentially rising here and creeks? Because the National Weather Service has been calling for a potential of some inundation near infrastructure, some apartment complexes, businesses.
Yeah, the real challenge right now is that our storm drain infrastructure is overwhelmed and frozen over. You saw some of those videos of crews getting out there and shoveling out storm drains. Neighbors are shoveling out their storm drains. Some of them have been buried under 6 to 8 feet of snow, and it's really hard packed and it's icy. So that water just has nowhere to go. The ditches are full, the storm drains are full, and you have this ponding like you have in that video there. We have a lot of low-lying areas in the Jordan Creek area, and we get flooding in businesses and homes because of that. So really what we're working to do right now is to clear all of those systems so that our water can flow.
Well, January is typically one of the snowiest months for Juneau, Alaska, and you can still see significant snow through even February as well. So right now you're warming up, you have this atmospheric river. Eventually you'll be sitting under an area of high pressure, but what are you going to do? What's the city doing in order to prepare themselves for quite likely the next big snow push that happens before the winter season's done?
Yeah, I mean, January is our snowiest year, our snowiest month, but we've already received more snow than any other winter in early January. So we really are preparing for a massive snow year. The number one thing we have to do is to remove snow from all of those narrow streets and parking lots and sidewalks so that when the next snow comes, we have somewhere to put it. So we have nonstop dump trucks, snow blowers, and loaders filling up dump truck loads of snow and bringing them to snow dumps, or sometimes bringing them straight into the gas snow channel because we've run out of room to put the snow. So it's just a race against time to try to clear all those streets so we can prepare for our next event.
And while the majority of this is rain and wind, you still have elevated roads that are still under some winter weather concerns. What do you guys have in place to then respond to the snow component too? It's kind of coming at you from both different angles here.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of all of our staff, all of our equipment operators are on deck, not only with our heavy equipment. These are the big graders, that are on dump trucks and the like. But really, it's dealing with that ice, because when you have that wintry mix or that change of temperature, you get really slick conditions. So we're using a lot of salt, a lot of gravel, and of course that gets washed away quickly. So just trying to keep up with that and keep our streets safe is a constant challenge.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole country listens when anything happens to Alaska. It's in a lot of ways almost feels foreign to people, but the scenery is incredible, and I'm sure you guys will be doing fantastic over the next couple of days. Just got to get through today and tomorrow. So City Manager Katie Koester, thanks so much for joining us, especially during such a busy time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.